Oh, I wanted to do this live stream for a really, really long time. Hi, you guys. Whoever's gonna join now or whoever's gonna join later for the replay, I hope you will find inspiration and a couple good nuggets that you can go and apply in your life. If it's the first time we meet, hi, my name is Katerina Satori. Hi, Larry. Thank you so much for joining. If it's the first time we meet, I am so happy to meet you. And my work in the world is in the three areas: leadership, business, and awakening. And you know, you guys, they all go so beautifully together. And I wanted to share with you one wisdom teachings that goes over all of that and more. Ah, thank you. Thank you guys for the flowers and the hearts. And yeah, if you resonate with this video, I encourage to hit the heart button. Then you will see my post more frequently in your feed. But you guys, how many of you know about human design? And it's not just not a human design. So the first there was human design, and then there was the gene keys, right? They kind of like standing on top of each other. And I wanted to share with you guys about the gene keys because, you know, these teachings came into my life last year. Adrian, oh, look at this. You probably got my telepathic message. I was going to reach out to you today. Welcome, you guys. So the gene keys is incredible. Mandy, I'm going to wait maybe 10 seconds for people to join. And darlings, I wanted to share with you about the gene keys forever because I am truly, truly just so blown away by the accuracy of the wisdom of these teachings applicable to your unique path, right? To your unique path, to your unique calling, to your unique expression of your genius. And I wanted to share with you guys how you can apply it in your life. And I also wanted to share with you where you can learn deeper. I have incredible people in my circle who do readings, and I do readings as well, not often, on a selective basis, not as my primary thing. But I just did a reading, and I think it's because of that enthusiasm and that excitement. I just did a 2-hour reading for a highly intellectual, very smart and very successful person. I tend to attract high intellectuals and help them to see their life through new eyes and to connect through the heart and learn to trust their body's wisdom, right? Powerful, powerful message, you guys. So I'm on the high feelings because I just did a powerful reading, but I also will share with you where you can learn how to apply this wisdom. So let's see who else is going to join. Welcome, loves. Welcome. So let's get to it, you guys. I discovered the gene keys, so they discovered me a little bit more than a year and a half ago, when first of all human design came to me. And human design is a system that was channeled through this man Ra, and it's all about really teaching you how to make correct decisions in life, because our decisions basically determine our destiny, right? We never know where our decisions will lead us. So the more we learn to make decisions that are in alignment with our true self and our true path, the more we begin to walk the path that is really true for us. Isn't it amazing? So the human design was the first system, you guys. And how many of you know human design? Let me know in the comments, you guys. I'm curious. Because when human design came into my life, I was like, whoa, I finally feel understood. I finally feel like I am not crazy, right? It's really profound. It teaches you about your energetic body, how you're here to make decisions, how you are designed to tap into the unique flow of life. The gene keys, you guys, take it to completely next level. Like, completely next level, and it's available for free. You just can go to the website called The Gene Keys and Google free profile, hologenetic profile. Gregory, thank you for joining. Yes, you guys, so you can start there, and what you're gonna get this graph. You're gonna get this graph. I've been working with mine for a while, And what the Gene Keys is the wisdom teachings. It's a transmission that teaches us the beautiful path to awakening and the path to wisdom that it's called contemplation. Contemplation. And for our overstimulated by technology time, contemplation is a lost art, you know? Contemplation where you actually see what life brings you with an open eyes and an open heart, right, you guys? It's really, really powerful. You really begin to notice the magic and the miracle of your life instead of rushing from a project to project, relationship to relationship, experience to experience, you know, never fully digesting your experiences. I see contemplation as a digestion, you know? Imagine if when we rush through life, it's almost like, you know, we are people who have this bulimia problem. You know, you gorge on the fine feast that life brings you through an experience, and you don't allow yourself time to digestion. You just go and waste it by throwing it out. I know it can be a really, really gory example, but it feels like that, you guys. When we rush through life, Ivonne, thank you so much for joining. Justin, I'm talking about the Gene Keys and the lost art of contemplation. You know, when contemplation helps us to digest our experiences, so we actually integrate what we learn through contemplation. And what I love about Gene Keys, you guys, is it teaches this art of contemplation. So the Gene Keys will introduce you to 3 paths to wisdom. The first path is the classic path of meditation, where you literally just learn to be with yourself without judgment, be with yourself in all your humanity and all your divinity. You know, and meditation is you simply being there and observing what's happening. It's very kind of a passive right brain approach where you just slow everything down and be with yourself. So that's one path to wisdom or awakening. Another path to wisdom is through concentration. So completely opposite. Think of Zen Buddhism, where your teacher will give you a koan, a mental paradox. So your mind struggles to solve that paradox just to realize there is no solution, and the mind can finally surrender to the mystery of life. So we have these 2 paths, meditation and concentration. And we have this beautiful middle path called contemplation, right? Where you begin digesting experiences that life brings you, relationships. You begin to see them, you know, with this new open eyes and new open heart. And you begin pausing more in your life, and you begin to savor your experiences. And through contemplation, you rediscover the magic of the present moment experiences. And you guys, I've tried both paths. I've tried meditation, and I epically failed for years, you know, for years, until I discovered moving meditation. And I realized, ooh, that's what actually works for me. And the same is concentration, you know, since I'm very, by default, very intellectual. So, you know, getting into this area of knowledge, just accumulating knowledge, and feeling safe by devouring knowledge, right? But not allowing digestion. This is where contemplation comes in. And I believe, you guys, contemplation is a beautiful path. And every path to wisdom and awakening is a valid path. Absolutely. So find whatever works for you. Find whatever path that really resonates with you. So the Gene Keys is a path of contemplation. And every contemplative practice requires an object to contemplate. So when you get your free profile, pre-hologenetic profile, it's an object for you to contemplate. And also imagine it's like a mystery box for you to unlock. And the more you be with this object of contemplation, the more you let these, you know, this knowledge in these codes, in a way, to open up to you like a flower, the deeper you're gonna go in understanding who you are, what are your true soul gifts, and what are you here to create, what are you here to let go, and what are you here to discover about yourself. So that's what I wanted to make this introduction about the Gene Key, you guys, because it's so, so powerful, and it's a very practical wisdom. It only looks complex if some of you maybe gave it a try once or twice and like, oh, that's another system to learn. It's another system to uncover and to try, right? Give it another chance. Give yourself permission to go at your pace, because the teachings will open up to you kind of like one petal at a time. But the reason I resonate with the Gene Key so much, and it transformed my life in a deep, deep way, it helps me to understand my clients in a new way. It helps me to understand the people who I hire to be on my team. Like, I will rarely bring somebody on board if I don't know their Gene Keys or I don't know their human design. It's like this deep insight in what kind of language do I need to use to reach this person better? What kind of story would be appropriate with this person? Because I can see their path. I can see what's their challenges, what's their dreams, what's their visions, right? All in one little graph. How is it possible, you may say, Katerina? How is it possible? Well, imagine that Gene Keys is the basically a synthesis of all ancient wisdom teachings like I Ching and Kabbalah, right? And, wisdom of astrology, wisdom of numerology, and also the most recent, yes, yeah, Adrian, I need to see your Gene Keys for sure. I would love to see your Gene Keys. Yes. But you guys, and then you begin to see what I love about this system is because it helps you to realize nobody shows up on your path randomly. Not a single person shows up on your path randomly. And then you begin to recognize these activation codes that we carry in our DNA. And when you see another person's profile, you say, oh, that's why you show up on my path. Let me discover your blessing. Let me discover your lesson. And let me discover the gift that you brought me. And the same thing for you. It's mirror. You teach a lesson and you exchange your gift and you bring your lesson, blessing. So that's what lights me up, you guys. And it's really powerful. It's so precise. What I often do in my readings, I teach people how to read the map. And then I send them on a contemplative journey. And I say, okay, I taught you how to read the first sequence. Now go and contemplate and experiment with that. Try it as an outfit, and then when you're ready for the next part, you come back for the next part. If I could summarize the Gene Keys in a nutshell, it will teach you how to unlock these three incredible paths. The path number one, it's called activation sequence. Link, please. Gregory, just Google Gene Keys free profile, and you're going to get your free profile, right? Then you got to learn how to read it, but this is the first introduction. But Gregory, if you remember that the Gene Key will teach you these three paths, three activation paths. The first one is how to unlock and discover your true genius, Oftentimes, we're absolutely oblivious to our genius, my loves. If you really know your genius, it's like, oh, thank you, Celine. Haha, look at that. Ian, thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. If you truly know your genius, it's like a fish that doesn't know that water is wet. Then you know that you're tapping into the deeper layers of your true genius. You know what I mean? So it's something that obvious to people that really know you and who really love you, who really care for you, your true allies. They can see it, but since you're in the water, you're like, water is wet? Really? This is my genius? A lot of times from the moment we enter this reality, we are conditioned to be who we're not. And we're conditioned not to value our true gifts, not to value our true power, true genius, but to value intellect. And I'm not, every time I have this speech going on between the intellect and the heart, you guys, I am very, very intellectual person, just like most of you who resonate with my message, because you only attract what you are. So I highly value intellect as an incredible tool, right? And the next level, a quantum leap in the spiritual maturity, is when we realize that the intellect has been designed to be the servant of the heart. To be the servant of the heart. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Welcome, welcome. Look how many people are joining. I love you guys. You know, Gene Keys has been so powerful because it helps you, it gives you a specific pathway of how to make the transition from living from your head to living with an open heart. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be like this fool, you know, who just let people walk over you. It's not like that. But it's more like this true equanimity that can only be found when you live with an open heart. And that's why I love this wisdom teaching so much. And I want the entire world to experience the profound shifts that I've seen in my life and in the lives of the people that I shared this system with. Sometimes, you guys, it only takes one reading and the person's life will be like a destiny point, like, woo, I walk this way and now I see the whole new light. And now I realize who I truly am when I'm in my power. Oh, Sunil, look at all of those hearts. Look at all of those hearts. That made me feel so loved. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if I can simplify it, you guys, the Gene Keys will teach you these 3 journeys. The journey number 1 is the journey to unlocking your true genius. Because each one of us come to this life with 4 prime soul gifts. 2 of them we know consciously, and 2 of them are completely subconscious to us. And when you really learn to embrace your soul gifts and you learn to build your life on the cornerstones of your soul gifts, your foundation becomes really, really strong, you know? Really strong, because you, for example, I'll give you an example. One of my absolutely subconscious, natural, fish in the water kind of gifts is simplicity. You know, it's been my gift all my life to take very complex systems and concepts and processes and simplify them in it and convey them in a very enchanting storytelling kind of way that excites people to try them on and to experiment with them. I was absolutely oblivious that this was my powerful gift, you know, and I actually discounted that. I wanted to make it more complex because I really tried so hard, you know, for people to like me and for people to know that I know my stuff. Do you guys see? Do you guys see how it can absolutely shift how you show up in the world? When you're in alignment with your gifts, you don't try so hard to prove what you know. You just be, and you just share from the heart. So the moment I embrace this, you guys, I realized that my true power is in simplicity. You know, not leading through the mind and trying to overcomplicate things by thinking that it's going to make me look more smart, but it's actually would alienate me from the people even more. Do you guys see how powerful that is? It's one simple shift. If you discover what your soul gift is, and then you align with it and you learn to cherish the gift that you may be oblivious all your life. So you have 4 prime soul gifts like that. Gift of simplicity is yours too, Celine? That's right. So you know, if you make it complex, you went into your head, you went to intellect, and you're just gonna, if you're gonna start a project with complexity, you're gonna drag the energy of complexity all the way through, right? Creating more and more complexity. So simplicity is a really powerful gift. And the second journey that the Gene Key will invite you to, this wisdom teaching, is the journey of opening your heart, the journey of deconditioning the patterns, the barriers, the walls that we learned to build whenever we didn't feel safe emotionally. Usually the biggest walls are being built around our heart is in our teenage years. You know, teenage years, that's where the walls come up. So I always say it's so powerful because once you see, you cannot unsee. If I just tell you, hey guys, every single one of you has patterns and has walls that you use to protect your heart, to self-protect. That's one level of understanding. But if I take a look at your profile and I say, for example, Celine, and I've never seen your profile, honey. I'm just using you as an example if that's okay with you. But let's say I say, Celine, when you were a teenager, you learned to protect your heart by, if every time you feel threatened emotionally, you check out mentally. You just leave mentally. Your body remains, but your mind is somewhere else. Right? And I say, Celine, from now on, I invite you in all your relationships, whenever you feel threatened emotionally, watch what your mind does. Because your mind will either reject or distance itself or, start being more practical. So there's different expressions of the mind, you guys. How many minutes I've been talking? And can anybody tell me? Because I never know how long I go. Yes. So you guys, it's so much more powerful when you know your specific way, your unique ways to self-protect that have been developed through your teenage years. And imagine now, you not only know this, but you also know how to heal that, how to reverse the damage, how to learn to open your heart step by step, layer by layer. So it's an incredible teaching system, you guys. I really, really love it, because then, I work with clients. Let's say I work with people a lot on business and a lot on awakening. But the path to empowerment on business side and to awakening on the spiritual side, the path is always through the heart. And if I can see from somebody's profile what are the specific barriers to that heart awakening, I can help them with such more precision. You guys, maybe I will teach a course on how to use Gene Keys in business with your clients. Anybody would want a course like that? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Because I always want to ask the community if it's necessary. But here's the point, you guys. When you learn what's happening in the heart and where the blocks are and where the barriers and where the walls, you may experience this deep sense of self-forgiveness and deep sense of self-compassion. When somebody writes on a Facebook, you're not broken, there's nothing to fix, I can appreciate the value of that sentiment. But sometimes some part of me would not believe it, almost felt like a blanket statement. And I wanted to add some legs to that statement in a way, because it's true. We're not broken when there is nothing to fix, but we also have these wounds that needs a deeper care and a deeper healing, and I will be the first one who will say, leave the woundology talks behind and focus on empowering, build your future from the place of empowerment. But I also will be reminding you to be gentle with the areas that have been wounded in your heart. You're not going to heal the wound by pretending it's not there. So the second sequence of the Gene Keys teaches you how to see those wounds, right, in a new light, and how to continue healing yourself, continue seeing those wounds being activated in relationships. Because the funny thing, you guys, the only way we're going to be reminded that there is a wound is when somebody's going to get too close to us. And it's not going to happen in the client relationship or in the friendship relationship or even in the business partner's relationship. It's going to show up where? In our romantic relationships. In the deepest intimacy, when somebody's going to get so close, our wounds get activated. And this knowledge is a lifesaver, my loves, because then you can watch yourself and you say, ooh, this is what happens when somebody gets too close to me and I actually care that they do. It's easy to deflect when you don't care. You're not, there is no emotional charge, right? But if you have a connection, you have chemistry, you have a beautiful soul dynamic, then you're really going to feel that charge. Somebody's going to get so close. So what do? How do you make different choices? Gene Keys teaches you guys all of that. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful wisdom teachings. And then once you heal those patterns and the wounds of your heart, when you learn to walk into your relationships with an open heart, when you learn to let go of your relationships with an open heart, ooh, and that's not an easy lesson, right? Especially when you think you've mastered it. You're like, I've evolved to the point I can let people go. I can welcome them in, until somebody enchants your heart in such a deep way you realize that that lesson is really tough to master. Have you guys been there, or is it just me who has these experiences? I'm just curious. So the first path, the Gene Keys has 3 sequences. First one, higher purpose. Second one, higher relationships. And the third one is higher prosperity. And the trick our mind can play on us, you guys, we want to all get to prosperity as fast as possible. Can I get a show of hands on this one, or am I alone in this one? Usually when I meet somebody, I never met a person who wouldn't want to be more prosperous in some area of their life. But the secret of evolution, my darlings, is that the path to prosperity is through healing our heart, through opening our heart, through opening our mind. And we cannot shortcut that, you know? That's why when you really step on the path of leadership, enlightened leadership and soul initiation, and, you know, this awakening, you're going to return back to your heart again and again and again, you know, but from this perspective, almost from a practical perspective, you know, how do you take that open heart and you bring that essence in all your relationships, romantic, business, clients relationship, children relationships, a relationship with your pets, you know? How can you show up differently? And when you heal your heart, when you heal these patterns and this conditioning, you activate a completely new journey towards this prosperity that can only come through you embodying, living with an open heart, and actually living your inner calling fully. Yes. Did I enchant you to study Gene Keys or what? I hope so. This was the whole purpose, of this video, you guys, because we are ready as a collective to receive new understandings about ourselves, who we are as spirits pretending to be humans, why we chose to incarnate in this very unique time, and how can we leave our mark and a true contribution to society, true contribution to our community, to our world. How can we leave that beautiful, lasting mark? And the paradox, you guys, you know, when I contemplate about legacy and what true legacy is, I love how Oprah said, legacy is the every life you touch. Maya Angelou said that, but Oprah shared with the world. Legacy is the every life you touch. And the only thing I would add to that statement is the legacy, your true lasting legacy, is how deeply you transformed your consciousness, how bravely you looked into your inner world and embrace all the unloved parts of you and all the conflicting parts of you, right? And how deeply you looked outside on your life and you trained yourself to see good, to see benevolent universe, to see that the universe is on your side. It's not plotting against you, you know? And the president who's been chosen, believe it or not, you're for him or not for him, all this political drama, all this clown show that's happening right now. Can you look at this with equanimity and with love and with forgiveness and with non-attachment trusting your path, trusting the world that you choose to incarnate, right? Can you look at the relationships in your life, the difficult ones, and find equanimity and peace in your heart, right? And embracing that these most difficult relationships are your most powerful teachers. This is why I love Gene Keys so much, you guys. It's very practical wisdom. It's a journey back to wholeness. It's a journey back to totality. And it's embodied awakening. This is what I love about it the most, you know? It's embodied awakening. It's not just awakening as an event that we're chasing, you know, by doing maybe a ton of medicine journeys, maybe a ton of meditation hours, maybe a ton of selfless charity work. We're chasing this an event. Awakening is not in the final event. Awakening is happening here and now, all based on a choice after choice after choice that you make, right? To see things clearly as they are, to see yourself clearly as you are, to continue open your heart no matter what life brings you. This is, to me, embodied awakening, my loves. You know, where you continue opening your heart like a flower, no matter what life brings you, right? And you continue raising your frequency. Let's just say this for the simplistic way. And you know the fastest way to raise your frequency, my loves? 3 ways. The first one is through your attitude. And it all comes through Gene Keys. I didn't come up with it. I'm just a messenger that shares with you in this way what really, really moved me and what really just liberated me, you guys. So how can you raise your frequency? The Gene Key teaches us is number 1, through your attitude. Your attitude is the barometer of where your frequency really is at this moment, right? So if you're anxious, or if you're worried, if you are in fear, if you are in panic, any kind of state that you know is not your true self, that you know that you are in a shadow frequency, you're in a negative state, right? Then you say, Katerina, okay, well, what else can I do? I realized I'm in a negative state. What's the next step? And the next step, my dear friend, is very simple, is your attitude. You check in with yourself. And is your attitude critical? Oh, I am this horrible person. I cannot get this lesson right. And here I am critical. Here I am always worrying. Is your attitude like that? Or your attitude, open heart. Ah, here I am, worrying again. This is not the first time I worried. Ah, can I just let this feeling pass through me? Can I just be with my worry for 30 seconds or however it takes for this emotion to pass through me? And can I just be with it with an open heart? Can I put a warm welcome of love around my negative feelings and let them breathe? Not act them out, not suppress them, be with them and watch them shift through you. So that's the first one, is attitude. Openness to whatever arises, like an inner smile, or constriction. Everything is against me. I'm a horrible person. Where are you at? Where's the attitude? And this is how you can turn around and pivot any day. No matter what life brings you, you guys, you caught yourself in the moment of awareness, right? You are awareness, and you say, I choose how my day is going to go. And let's see. Oh, I just see your comments, my loves. I'm so sorry. I just see you because they show up kind of like here. So the first is attitude, right? And the second one, I hope I remember them. And the second one is selfless giving and presence. Every time you selflessly pour your love into another human being, you raise the frequency of your entire aura. Isn't that a beautiful and profound statement? But think about this, you guys. You know, I always talk about being faithful and small. Whatever life brings you, whatever universe brings you, it's a big mission or it's a small mission. You choose to become very faithful and small. And you choose to treat every person as important. Somebody asked me years ago, Katerina, how do I attract influential, important, and powerful people into my life? And I said, the answer is very simple. You walk through your day and you see every person that life brings you for an exchange, energetic exchange, interaction, right? Service. You see them as the most powerful, the most influential, and the most important people in your life. And I don't know if that person was satisfied with my answer or not, but I stand by that. You know, you never know that a king may wear a beggar clothes, and a beggar may wear a king's clothes. You never judge the book by the cover. You gotta see and feel the soul and feel the heart. And when you start showing up with others like that, the universe will begin bringing you more and more people who have the power and the message to really alter the whole trajectory of your life and your mission and your true allies that come to you. Your true allies may show up in your path looking very simple, you know, and maybe the ego will say brush them off, but I would say be observant, be discerning, watch closely, look deeper, read between the lines, feel people energetically, read their aura, and recognize your true allies only through presence. So the first, how do we raise our aura? Is through our attitude, and then by pouring our energy in a selfless service. When you feel called, I really feel guided to make this distinction, because a lot of empaths in my tribe, a lot of beautiful light beings, and boundaries is not an easy thing for you guys. I can sense it. Only when you feel called, always check with your intention. Do I feel called to serve this person selflessly? Or do I do this because I want to be liked and approved and feel significant, right? Intention is the barometer. And the third way to raise your frequency is to love your life with all your heart. You know, you may wake up one day and you're feeling really on the low. And learn to love your low days. Learn to love this. Something will always be unresolved in your life, you guys. You may mastered your finances, you may build awesome business, but your relationships are non-existent. You forgot what intimacy feels like, right? Or love or forgiveness. Or you may be thriving in relationships, but your body is shutting down, right? You may be thriving in all three, but you feel life has no meaning because you're disconnected from spirit. So there is always going to be an area in your life that requires more depth, right? And it will show up as something's unresolved in your life, because something that's unresolved will draw your attention to it, right? And you will be looking for answers and solutions. I love you very much, my loves. This is, you see why I am so in my heart about these teachings, you guys. And, you know, right now you can get the book. The next step is to get the profile, then you get the book. Anybody can afford the book, right? What is it? $15, $12? I don't know. I recommend to get the physical book because it's easier to work with it, and just begin your journey, you know? And the next thing I would recommend for you to guys get readings, because a good reading from somebody who walks this path will shorten your journey. I don't have the capacity to offer individual readings for everybody, but I do know an incredible person who does. It's her calling. So you just send me a private message. I can connect you with that person. She's amazing. Her name is Eliza, and she loves doing readings. I love doing them too, but you know, I may be able to do maybe once per week, maybe twice per month, because this is part of my work with my clients. But you guys, some of you who've been following my work for a while and you're like, Katerina, I want to dive in deeper. I am doing an entire retreat all based on the Gene Keys, and it's going to be in Kauai. I wanted to take a few moments to share with you guys what's in my heart, what inspired it, because I've yet to meet a more profound wisdom that can really help visionaries to get grounded in their true being. And I serve visionaries, I serve leaders, I serve conscious entrepreneurs, people who have a message, who have a dream, and who have a determination to make the dream a reality. And the biggest thing I see with my work with people like that is it's tough for them to be grounded in the reality. You know, it's almost like they live in the vision so much, but the biggest risk for a vision if the visionary is not grounded. The visionary is not grounded, or a leader is not grounded, the people will not follow ungrounded leader. And you guys, it's something that I've learned through painful experiences. When I am personally in my head and I try to impress with how much I know, it doesn't come from my wisdom. It comes from intellect. And wisdom carries this weight to it. You know, it's a resonance, it's energetic frequency that when people hear it, they're like, yeah, it's true. It rings in my body. And knowledge is beautiful. But if there is no experience behind knowledge, if there is no embodied element to the knowledge is just will create the dopamine release in your brain that make you feel good and make you actually feel addicted to collecting more knowledge, but never putting it into life, right? So you guys, I have this dedication to wisdom and dedication to mastery. And I love finding these incredible wisdom teachings. This is the reason they're called wisdom teachings, because they're practical teachings that you can take and just put a little bit of it into your life, and your life will begin to unfold in a completely new altitude, you know, where you enjoy peace and prosperity and open heart. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to experience challenges or problems in your life. You will, but you will have the wisdom, you will have the tools, and you will have emotional depth and spiritual maturity to meet everything that life brings you with an open heart. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't something worthy to learn and to open ourselves up to? It is from my perspective. It is absolutely from my perspective. So my darlings, I am leading a 6.5 days, almost a week in the most incredible island. I'm leading a 6-day retreat. Maybe it's my next aspiration to do a 6-week spiritual pilgrimage. That's next year, you guys. I'm opening it up to you, but next year I feel I'm going to move into kind of like these pilgrimages, you know, where we go for a couple of weeks to sacred sites in the world. It's such a dream for me. But yeah, Adrian likes the idea. I love it. But this year, you guys, this is going to be my last retreat, and it's been just such a divine inspiration and divine guidance. I feel called to take a handful of people, 15 maximum, 10 probably optimal number, where we're going to go into the most life force filled energetic place. You know, Kauai is called, you know, it's one of the ancient islands, the most beautiful ones. And the Dalai Lama said it's a place, it's a portal where the souls enter this incarnation and exit this incarnation. So it's a spiritually activated place. And that's the reason why I feel guided to bring a group there. And I have this in my heart to take leaders who are overworked, who have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, and give them a soul oasis kind of experience, help them to reconnect with the bigger vision that is yet to be revealed for their mission, for their purpose, and share with them the wisdom of the Gene Keys. You know, so teach them how to use this system in the work with their clients, in the work with their students, with their families, you know, because I will tell you guys, you will never see your partner, you'll never see your family, you'll never see your business partners with the same eyes after you learn their unique path in life. You will have compassion, you will have understanding, and you'll grow in connection with them, you know? And instead of differences that you see, the edgy points, you begin to honor their uniqueness. And that's going to change everything for you. This is the reason why I feel inspired to teach that at my retreat. And if you guys would like to hear more, enrollment is open right now. It's invitation and a conversation only, because I want to make sure this is an event that will really support your highest expression and highest leap. And my events are built on adventure. So they're very focused on adventure. It's not like we're sitting and studying all the time. No, my goal is to really bring that childlike spirit alive, right? To take you on the most incredible adventures that the island has to offer, you know? And so you can see the beauty of the nature. You get activated by the life force. And then the community. Imagine the creative thinking and innovation when you're around 10, 15 people, selective, incredible visionaries, and people who are already walking the path of consciousness and leading others to the light. And the final is definitely the teachings, because something happens, you guys, when we change our environment. For me, it's non-negotiable. Several times a year, I change my environment radically. You know, I don't let my innovation stagnate. I keep my creativity fresh. And environment, if you change an environment in a radical way, you put yourself in a gorgeous environment where your soul begins to sing, where innovation begins to sing. You see your leadership from a new eyes. You see your relationship from the new eyes. And you get refueled, recharged, and reignited by the path you're here to be on. So if this resonates, you guys, reach out to me. Would love to have a conversation with you. And this retreat I made quite affordable. So you guys, for 7 days, it's all inclusive. All you do, you just fly there. And then you're taken care of. We have a private chef, farm to retreat cuisine. We have an incredible local team. My friend Adrian, he's here on the call with me right now on the live. So we're going to be impeccably taken care of. And you guys, it would be a joy and honor to share that experience with you, with all of us. So thank you for joining me for the Gene Keys conversation. And once again, to wrap it up, you guys, if you want to learn the whole system in a way, I will teach all of it during the retreat, you know, through the process of simplicity. And if you desire to get an individual reading, feel free to connect with me if you resonate with my energy. And if you like a connection to another person, Eliza, who I highly recommend, I have 2 trusted sources for you. And the readings are very affordable, you guys. For me, I don't do them as a part of my business model. It's a joy for me to do them. And it's incredible introduction. You know, it's my way of learning to mastery. So send me a message and we'll take it from there. And you guys, thank you for your presence. It was fun to share this information with you. Bless you. Remember, your attitude determines your frequency. And there's so many hidden gifts lay dormant in your DNA. Your DNA is a cosmic library, right? Cosmic library, where everything you need for your mission, for your true happiness, for loving relationship, it's all hidden in your DNA. So the more you raise your frequency, the more you unlock these layers of your DNA, the more your light begins to shine, the more you become truly empowered, sovereign, integrated human divine being. And that's a beautiful vision to hold on to live and to embody. God bless you.